Panic in Imo as Hope see the chances of Ihedioha reclaiming his seat in the Supreme Court review. Presently, Hope Uzodinma and Imo APC are in panic as they see the chances of Emeka Ihedioha of PDP reclaiming the position of the governor of Imo State in the Supreme Court review. Hope Uzodinma, who came fourth in the 2019 governorship election, was declared winner of the election by the Supreme Court on the fact that the votes he got in the election were not fully added. After the Supreme Court verdict, Hope thought that the matter was over, not until the PDP went back to the Supreme Court for a review of its decision. At first, the camp of Hope Uzodinma thought it was a waste of time for Emeka to go back for a review. On realizing that Ihedioha still have the chance of reclaiming the position back, it was alleged that it's the reason he, along with the national chairman of APC, visited the president. The Supreme Court will review the judgment. This time around, the pressure will be on the Supreme Court. The international and local community will be watching closely to see the final outcome. Many individuals believe that the election might be cancelled and a fresh one conducted. This is the final step. If Hope is in panic, it is understandable. If Ihedioha was surprisingly sacked by the Supreme Court, Hope too could be sacked also. Do you see Emeka Ihedioha reclaiming the seat back or Hope retaining the seat? Do you see the Supreme Court cancelling the election? This is really funny and very, very interesting. And just like it's been said that if Ihedioha could be sacked, then Hope should still have that mindset that anything can happen. Maybe at the end of the day, cancellation of the election will be the best option, because both parties are like, trying to, have a grandstanding that, oh, I'm right, I'm the winner, I'm not the winner, and what have you. Of course, there will be panic. There's no way you can just say, oh, it is cast in concrete, because the Supreme Court has already said that. And if all what we are hearing is, if we are to reckon with what we are hearing, of course, there should be panic for Hope Uzodinma, because if Ihedioha could be moved, that means himself, might not be able to retain the seat. But let's just see what happens. But it's just that the people of the Imo State, they are the ones that will be affected in one way or the other. But I think everybody is interested to know what will become the whole thing, or become the end point of the whole thing. But let's keep our finger crossed and see what happens. I know, there's that mixed reaction, from people. Some say this is nonsense. Is the Supreme Court not where final and irreversible judgment is made? This has not happened before. The Supreme Court may lose its sanctity and respect. It means henceforth any Supreme Court judgment is subject to review. It may also result into chaos, violence, and anarchy if care is not taken. In my opinion, if it's going to cause that, then let the election be cancelled if at the end of the review. Of course, if there's nothing like review, because that's what a lot of people think, that after the Supreme Court, that will be the final judgment. But in as much there's chance, or there is room for review, definitely they have to go through the review. Maybe in the past, a lot of people never even bother to say, okay, let them go for review, because they would think that is a waste of time. But just like the same thing, because I could remember it was during Oshomole's time, that is when I got to know, because before then, if anybody is being announced as the winner, and that's it. But after Professor Osubo became the governor in Edo State that time, after 1 year, Oshomole reclaimed the mandate. And since then, everybody tried to, okay, if I lose the election, I don't just give in like that, or I don't just give up. So this one could be the first time. Of course, there's nothing, everything is not cast in concrete. If there's room for review, of course, there will be room for review. I just believe that people didn't want to go for that, or people have not been having that interest after losing at the Supreme Court. So if the law says there should be review, definitely people have not been using the opportunity to go for that, because they believe that there's no point instead of wasting time. But if there's reason for review, and that is what this man is doing, if it is illegal, they wouldn't have allowed that in the first place. So there is nothing cast in concrete. So just like this particular person said, and someone said, Governor Emeka Ihedioha is the true winner of the election. The Supreme Court should review its judgment and give the seat back to Governor Ihedioha. Someone say, for me, I see another election in Imo State. Hope should be sacked. CGN resigned and Ihedioha restated. Some say, I still maintain Supreme Court is not Supreme God. Supreme Court of Nigeria was commissioned, instituted to uphold justice like the Supreme God, and their decisions ought to be final. But in the case of the Supreme Court and their judges, they are corrupt and evil. Hence, their decisions are subject to review and reversible where necessary. Someone say God is supreme. His will must be done on earth. Okay, if people are really arguing, God is the supreme, of course, there's no doubt about that. But one thing I just believe is that because it has never happened, I don't know if that's my own opinion. Maybe it has never happened. People never, deemed it fit for them to say, okay, let them go for review after the court, the Supreme Court. So that doesn't make it abnormal or illegal, because people who are saying that, oh, the Supreme is supposed to be the final judgment, they should supposed to be the final judgment. Nobody should be able to raise an eyebrow to say, oh, what is happening again or whatever. So since the review is part of is legal, so anybody who does not make use of it, I think it's just out of the person's own volition. But if anybody wants to make use of that review, I think it's okay. So maybe it is a new thing for us to have seen, because a lot of people believe that then if that the Supreme Court cannot come back and do it to reverse the whole thing back. Let's wait and see. Lawyers will be able to judge that. But for us laymen, majority of the laymen like us, we believe that Supreme Court, after Supreme Court, they forget anything about, the result or whatever, whether you are not satisfied with it. So that is just the way it is. So let us see how everything will turn out to be at the end of the day. Someone say the Igbo, the scourge of the earth, what their jaundiced minds want, they must get. Otherwise, they will threaten everyone. Stupid cow was only good at agitation and criminality. Okay, story. From what I'm seeing in the whole thing, God is bringing all these corrupt people in all sets of our government close to their judgment. That is why you see them making all manner of silly mistakes that they cannot come out from in near future. I know that is the matter. The truth will surely prevail at last. Hopeless can never rule Imo State. It will be a mockery of our judiciary system if they reverse the judgment. It is not in law. No one is upright except God. If mistake is made, then it is not mistake, because the weighing scale of law can go either side. Followers of Ihedioha, be patient till 2023. But if there's law that there should be review, I don't think it is illegal. I don't think it is even Ihedioha or these people or the PDP that are making the review up. Because if the review is not legal, it wouldn't have even gone for review in the first place. So for him to have gone for the review and there's need for them to look at the whole thing again, that means it is legal. So for the fact that people have not been making use of that review, doesn't make it illegal. Doesn't make it illegal, because the people just felt, or maybe out of their own volition, that they never wanted to do any form of review, because they know at the end of the day nothing will come out. But since Ihedioha is sure of what the whole thing is all about, definitely he will want to go. Even if he loses, definitely at the end of the day he must have cleared his curiosity. And when you look at the things happening, you look at the masses body language, you will know that they love Ihedioha. That is just the fact, because they don't even want to have anything to do with APC. Ihedioha, to a very large extent, he might be a good person, but because of what Rochas Okorocha did in that state, they don't like APC, irrespective of how good you are. They don't just want anything APC. So, and again, if they now see that, okay, Uzodinma too, maybe he has a skeleton in his cupboard, but I'm very, very sure, that's my opinion, that the people of Imo State might not really hate Uzodinma, but because of the party, that is just what we know, that the Imo people never wanted at all. So the majority of the people voted for Emeka Ihedioha, and that's why you can see that he has a large followers. He has a lot of people who are supporting him. So definitely they know who they voted for. So all this issue of some votes were not, some whatever, were not added in the first place. It's neither here nor there. So let them do review. So review, in my opinion, is legal. So if people think that, because the Supreme Court has given the final judgment, so there's no need for anybody to look into it again. Like I said, if the review is legal, people have not been making use of it. Maybe that is their own decision. But for Emeka here to go for review, a lot of people are not really happy about it. That if we should have left the whole thing, like somebody said, if you wait till 2023, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If it is not legal, they wouldn't have allowed that in the first place. Someone says fresh elections should be conducted in the 308 wards. Someone said that is my thought earlier on, before Supreme Court decision accidentally declared Hope Uzodinma winner of the election. The election should be cancelled. Supreme Court, even though it is the highest court, Nigeria, the highest court, Nigeria has powers under the law to reverse its own judgments. There are conditions under which the Supreme Court can do so. One of which is where there is a palpable errors which the Supreme Court did not notice and was discovered after the judgment. There were cases where the Supreme Court did so in the past. We are waiting for the Supreme Court review coming up on the 13th March. Nigeria must thrive. Someone says they should emerge. They should just emerge so that peace and justice will reign. So guys, let's hear your opinion. What do you think? Just like the question has been asked before, do you think the election should be cancelled, or do you think Hope has the chances of retaining the power, or Ihedioha, will be reinstated? What do you think? Or Ihedioha or Hope Uzodinma will lose totally, or the election will be cancelled? You said there are three things. You said that the election is cancelled, Hope Uzodinma, or Emeka Ihedioha reinstated, either of the two, and let's see what happens at the end of the day. So guys, let's hear your opinion concerning this. Thank you very much. Bye.